Hello students, very happy to meet you through this Moodle classroom again. The topic which I am going to discuss with you is about interpretation of charts. What is this interpretation of charts? I hope visual representation is known to everybody. Visual representation like graphs, charts help us to understand data quickly. When you show an effective graph or chart, your report or presentation gains clarity and makes the receiver to receive the information clearly. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Graphs or charts help people to understand data quickly. Whether you want to make a comparison, show a relationship, or highlight a trend, they help to transfer the information quickly. Data interpretation is the art of interpreting a given data, analyzing and writing in the form of paragraph and report. Graphs and charts are the most efficient method for visual information. This form of visual representation helps us to understand and interpret the information easily and efficiently. In this topic, I am going to discuss with you about what is bar chart, how to interpret a bar chart, how to structure a chart into different paragraphs, tips for interpreting bar chart, and some of the examples for interpreting bar chart into a very good paragraph. What is bar chart? Bar charts are essentially horizontal and vertical column charts. A bar chart organizes the categories along the vertical axis and the values along the horizontal axis. Horizontal bars stretch left to right across the chart to plot the data. Bar charts are excellent for charting multiple values over extended duration with colored bars representing each value. Now, what is data interpretation? Interpretation refers to the task of drawing inferences from the collected facts after an analytical study. The analyzed data need to be interpreted and explained into good paragraph. The importance of data interpretation is evident, and this is why it needs to be done properly. In the previous slide, we have been discussing about what is bar chart and what is data interpretation. In this slide, we are going to discuss about how to structure the bar chart. Structuring a bar chart is a very important task. Generally, when you write anything in paragraph, the structuring of paragraph is very important because the structuring of paragraph alone gives a logical flow to your paragraphs. So, when you find a logical flow in your paragraph, the receiver can very easily understand your paragraphs. For example, whenever you write your bar chart into a very good paragraph, first concentrate with the introductory statement. The first part of your paragraph is about introductory statement. The first part is an introduction. So in the introduction part, paraphrase the provided information in one sentence. Let the opening sentence be stated like given below. The given bar chart shows. The bar chart represents. This diagram illustrates. The second part of your paragraph is about the body paragraph. Always highlight the highest and the lowest data when writing your body paragraph. Highlight the key changes or the trends that are happening with the data. Use suitable connectives and discourse markers. Use linking devices like while, whereas, compared to, in comparison with, as opposed to, in contrast, or contrary, however, which help to show the coherence and cohesion in the paragraph clearly. The third part of your paragraph should be about the summary sentence. An overall sentence that ties everything together and talks about any other significant information that can be stated apart from other given information. So, whenever you interpret your paragraph into a paragraph, concentrate with all the tips what I am going to tell you now. First thing, introduction paragraph. Second one, body paragraph. And the third one is conclusion paragraph. Whenever you write your introduction paragraph, remember that you can start your introduction paragraph by making use of expressions like what I have stated here. The given bar chart shows, the graph represents, this diagram illustrates. Always highlight the highest and the lowest data. Highlight the key changes trends. Use suitable connectives and discourse markers, and make use of linking devices. In this slide, I am going to discuss with you about the example for interpreting a bar chart. The bar chart below shows the number of men and women studying engineering at Australian universities. Now, you need to summarize the information in the chart by selecting and reporting the main features. Make comparisons where relevant. Now, look at the answer for the question we have been discussed in the previous slide. I have given you the bar chart and I ask you to summarize about the bar chart. So the interpretation has been done with the bar chart, and now the answer should be written like this. Look at the first paragraph. The first paragraph is the introductory paragraph. The bar chart illustrates the number of men and women studying engineering at Australian universities between the years 1992 and 2012 at 10-year intervals. Now this is the opening paragraph where we have started with the expression the bar chart illustrates. Next, we move on to the body paragraph. It can be seen that the number of male students fell slightly from 14,000 in 1992 to 12,000 in 2002 and then remained level through the following decade. The number of female students is relatively low, starting at 2000 in 1992. However, while the number of men decreased, the number of women increased. Female students grew steadily by 2008 decade. This led to a rise in the total number of engineering students from 16,000 to 18,000 in this period. Men continue to make up the majority of students. However, the proportion of female students increased sharply in this period. In 1992, there was one woman to every 7 men, but by 2012, this had narrowed to one woman to every 2 men. So, in the body paragraph, we have taken care to make use of linkers or discourse markers. So, we have used discourse markers like our verb. So, this shows that we have a logical flow. The sentence is what we have used. And the last paragraph is the concluding paragraph. In the concluding paragraph, we have used expressions like overall. Overall, we can see a clear upward trend in the number of female engineering students in Australian universities, while the number of male students seems to have leveled off. I want to discuss with you one more sample question. The question is here. The chart shows components of gross domestic product in the UK from 1992 to 2000. Now you need to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Here is a model answer for the previous question. The bar chart illustrates the gross domestic product generated from the IT and service industry in the UK from 1992 to 2000. It is measured in percentages. Overall, it can be seen that both increased as a percentage of GDP, but IT remained at a higher rate throughout this time. Now, this is the opening sentence, opening paragraph. The next thing is the body paragraph. At the beginning of the year in 1992, the service industry accounted for 4% of GDP, whereas IT exceeded this at just over 6%. Over the next 4 years, the levels become more similar, with both components standing between 6 and just over 8%. IT was still higher overall, though it dropped slightly from 1994 to 1996. However, over the following 4 years, the patterns of the two components were noticeably different. The percentage of GDP from IT increased quite sharply to 12 in 1998 and then nearly 15 in 2000, while the service industry stayed nearly the same, increasing to only 8%. At the end of the period, the percentage of GDP from IT was almost twice that of the service industry. I hope this example is very clear to you people by focusing on the introductory paragraph, body paragraph, and the concluding paragraph. So in this example, they have used linkers like whereas, however. See, now look at the linkers. See, whenever they go for the comparison, they have used the linker whereas. So, usage of linkers help you to bring the logical flow of writing in your answers. So far, we have been discussing about what is bar chart, what is interpretation of chart, while interpreting the chart into a paragraph, what are the guidelines we need to follow, how to structure a very good paragraph while structuring a paragraph. So what are the important guidelines that we need to follow? These are the things we have been discussing with you. So we have come to the end of the session. I feel like writing is an important skill. Learning to interpret data helps to analyze and review the data. Thank you, students.